Are we live? I said, are we live? Looks like we are. Vigilante Williamson here on the 104th episode of my show, The Vigilante Williamson Show. It is May 10th, Wednesday, May 10th. Lighting's not perfect. Still dark. Mood lighting. Go mood lighting. And the camera's probably at an awkward angle. It's going to fuck it up worse. That's probably fucked up. Oh well. I want to thank anyone who's watching me live or on the playback. We got a lot of playback views. That's been pretty cool. Getting so many playback views. You know what? Because it's not too many people starting off in the chat. Let's play Run the Streets of Rage just to wait for people to show up. And then when they show up, we can kind of get into some of the topics. Got quite a few different topics I want to talk about. Quite a few different things. Don't think I'm going to get into all of them. I will also want to apologize. I promised more videos than we've actually produced this week. Not even going to lie to you, fam. Got out of my habit of walking and kind of, I don't want to say depressing, but just got in the mood. Got tired, didn't really feel like didn't really feel like it. I'm gonna be honest. Didn't feel like it, even though I'm very happy. Is anyone? No, it's just me from the saying boo. But very happy with how the channel's been doing the past few weeks. Shout out to a lot of boxing content I produced. We'll talk a little bit of boxing in this stream. And the like. Also gonna talk about the writer's strike. I'm not trying to rap. Just a few other things. And whatever else, since this is gonna be a live episode, which the show used to be live. Back on the old channel, back in the days. But since this is a live episode, whatever you guys talk about, we'll talk about as well. Talk about whatever, man. Whatever. We'll just start off with this. Kind of let people come into the chat. We're actually starting earlier because usually we do everything pretty late. So just again, thank you everyone who's watched the playback. I'm going to be even shittier at games. I'm trying to see this fucking mask. But just thank you, man. I'm at 80 subs. I was, stuck on the old channel, the OG channel, which is the only one in the chat so far. So if you want to see any of the old content, you can just check that out. But I was stuck on, 720 subs for like 2 years. And obviously either A, the algorithm has changed, or just having a new channel, like the settings are different for how they recommend content. As opposed to my old channel, I must have done something to piss them off, which I can imagine what it was. But hey, I'm happy with where I'm at, and happy to keep going. So hopefully, this is for anyone who's new, or who's not familiar with what we've been doing here for the past couple years. Again, on this channel, only the past couple weeks, couple months or whatever. But welcome. Kind of doing more content. Used to talk a lot more about entertainment and politics and stuff, and I think, like me, the world is just spent with political talk. I was actually talking to Vigilante the other day. Shout out to old Vigilante, Granddad Vigilante to be specific. And he just, gave the classic liberal Trump view from the past, 5 or 6 years. No, 2016. What is that? 7, 8 years? And I just didn't care. I'm not a Trump fan, but I just, I love Granddad. But it was just, oh man. And it was just worth. And low-key, I actually think he voted for Trump. So I ain't gonna snitch on him. He's classic inner city Democrat, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, we kind of shied away. Doesn't like the politics content. I don't know why I'm stuttering like Porky Pig. Doesn't like the politics content is doing that well. Actually, is my voice doing well? I don't think, you know. Oh, sheesh. Let me get the old headphones. No, it sounds right. But yeah, I think people are tired of politics. I shudder to think what's going to happen next year. If you remember, 2020 was a fucking election year, and we got, I mean, many of us became familiar with concepts like the World Economic Forum, ESG, you know what I mean? All the stuff we all learned in 2020. And, you know, how's the end times going to get even worse, basically? That's my worry about the next year. Are we going to have a new disease to polarize the people? Are we going to have more incidents like shooting? I'm based in the Houston area now. The shooting out in Dallas, or Allen, I should be specific. It's in the Dallas area, in the suburb. Apparently, the guy has nothing on his social media. They make him a neo-Nazi, of course. And I think my granddad fell for that as well. And it's like, yeah, it's probably MK. Oh, well, let me keep this channel above ground. Probably a Mortal Kombat situation. We'll call it that. But luckily, I mean, we live in a world where most people, I say most, a lot of people are familiar with a lot of bullshit that the government has done. But most people still are not. Most people still are not. So, here's what it is. You know, it's weird that this chat is so barren. Usually the chat's more active on a weeknight. Maybe it's because it's too early. Maybe I'm competing with other shows. I think Zach's, who's off the end of the chat, might be streaming as well. So maybe that's what it is. But hey, we'll still get through this run. And I'll just, I guess, start the show. Start the show, and if I have to clip things out. Hopefully this will make up for kind of, like I said, a lazy week on my end, for which I apologize. Oh shit, didn't necessarily get that. Oh well. We'll be, like I said, talking some boxing. And, oh, as I get fucked up. One thing I have learned, and you know, some of the channels I have followed initially were pretty cool with boxing, but from that, you know, whether it's the new algorithm or what, me doing more boxing content or what, there's just a lot of like, it's very hard to get real non-biased content. Everything either has a racial bias, or a racialized bias, or a nationalized bias, or a promoter bias, or a combination of. And so finding just genuine, and listen, that it's one way, it's like, okay, that gives me a place. Hopefully I can provide non-biased content, you know what I mean, and assess things just based on how I see them, even though I'm not, you know, I'm not a boxing expert by any means. I really am a casual, but casual with all the stuff I cover to be dialed. I don't never want to come off like I'm some sort of expert who knows it all. I just, you know, have the interest I have. Hey, Small Time Republic's here, making me feel a little less small time. Appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate you being here. We'll start the show officially once I die. Give a chance for notifications if they are going to get out. And whoever wants to show up. So thank you for showing up. Please leave a like if you haven't. We'll start playing video games. Then we're just going to talk about a few subjects, and then we'll get out of here. I don't know how long we'll go. Okay, I don't really want to keep the, 3 hours. I don't want to do all that. And, the past few weeks I've done pre-records, which have still done pretty decently. Pretty proud of the numbers. Pretty proud of the numbers in general the past couple of weeks. They're better than they were on the old channel, so I'll take them. Oh, damn it. I don't want this person to get hit. There you go. I want to set him up to keep getting hit by the thing. Also kind of interested, we had Lament Ooze Pop show up. Interested in seeing if any of the new subs show up. Thank you for getting me to 80 subs. Really happy to be there. Hopefully we'll get to 100 subs soon enough. Over the next, hopefully next couple months. I mean, if we keep at this pace next month or two. And continue to grow. I'm hoping to get to at least a few hundred by the end of the year. Get somewhat close to where the old channel was. Obviously not everyone came over because the content has shifted. But I mean, hey, we're gonna be talking about the writer's strike. We're gonna talk about entertainment business, which is kind of a bread and butter subject from the old channel. And my kind of thoughts on this writer's strike. From what I know, I don't know everything. I really don't know much about the writer's strike. I'll be honest. But I have thoughts on how the writer's strike is going to affect entertainment, and I guess I'll wait until we get there, but I really think it's going to accelerate something that was already going to happen. And you guys can probably guess what that is, just by being an adult. Just by being an adult in 2023, where, hey, you're watching me. You're watching Twitch. You're watching, maybe you spend all day on TikTok or Instagram or even Facebook, whatever it is. We're in this world where traditional planned content is already on its way out. And, we got a bunch of different St. Floyd of fentanyl. I'm assuming this is Papa Cotton, question mark? Because you seem like the only person that's offensive enough do it. And you're always with the Saints Papa, you know what I mean, thing. So that's what my assumption is. Trying to keep this channel in business. Come on, man. St. Floyd fentanyl. The whole thing. A lot of those things, a lot of these, events, they're fucking, we'll call them Final Fantasies, FFs. Not that the incidents are not necessarily happening, but there's more to the story, man. There's more to the story. Things like this are to antagonize and create more destabilization for the country, to create more division. And I mean, clearly it works. Clearly this shit works. Is that you, Papa? Because I can't keep saying that name. I can't, just please, if it's not you, then if it's somebody else, I'll just call you SFF or something, man. I just went through a community strike on the old channel and started a whole new channel. Well, the channel was started, a few community strikes or a few issues ago. But it's like, all right, let's I'm assuming that's you then. This was a dirty racist. No, listen, I try to operate from a free speech platform, and like I said, I've been the Jamie Foxx situation seems really. There's some weird stuff there if you're into the Contheo stuff. Some people think he's being clown, but whatever's going on, I hope he's good, man. It doesn't sound good. I know there was like a post a few weeks ago or a week ago that was supposedly from him talking about thank you for the love. I don't think that was from him. I think that was from like an assistant. And then of course, because no one knows, I think some people thought it was a stroke, and I still don't know if that's been confirmed or not. But speaking of things that happened in the past few years, how do I say it in a way that keeps this channel going? Certain procedures now, or certain medical decisions, are like the go-to for any health emergency that we don't know about. Which I don't think is fair, by the way, because shit happens outside of that. You know what I mean? But now, if you certain, we'll just say, just like I'm throwing a jab, we'll go with that. Certain things like that. That's the first thing people think now. Oh, did he get that? And is that why he's sick? Or is that why he's having a heart or health issue? Which maybe it is. But I don't know, man. It's an unfair place to just go there all the time, no matter what. You know what I mean? Because we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it is. With a lot of these young athletes and some of the weird stuff, I get it. But the guy, he's in his 50s. He's kept himself in pretty good shape, you would think. But we got to remember. if you go back years ago, if you were in your 50s, that was like 60. That was like your 70s, 80s. You know what I'm saying? People used to, 50 sounded so far away when I was young. It's like, oh yeah, someone dying at 55 of a heart attack or a stroke. That was not as uncommon as it ended up becoming. The Koof got blamed for yeah, that's true. That's very true. The Koof did get blamed for things he didn't contribute to, and now we're dealing with the jab on the other side. Everyone, oh, it's the jab. Is it? Let's find out. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. I get it. But it's just like, golly, man. Dude in the hospital. You know what I mean? Even the conspiracy theory stuff, right? And it may be true. It may be true that there's some nefarious thing here going on with Jamie Foxx. We've talked about the entertainment industry. I am very much of the opinion both Prince and Michael Jackson were killed. Very much of that opinion. Just because of how much Prince got a lot of ownership of his own catalog, which was worth nothing, and Mike had so much ownership of Sony's publishing catalog, all these Mariah Carey and Beatles, and of course his own stuff. So he had a lot of, billions of dollars in publishing that he owned, and just both of those deaths seem very nefarious. And for what their catalogs could be worth, you can get somebody removed for like 50 G's. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't cost a ton of money to get somebody whacked if you're that guy. I'm not trying, it's not for how much you think a human life is worth. It's not that expensive. And I'm talking about, if you're in a lower level situation, you're dealing with some of these rappers. Don't even take that, man. You can get it done for like 5 racks, 2,500. It's fucked up, but it's just the case. I think with them, with all the cover-up stuff, it may cost a little bit more, but like seriously, maybe 150 grand. It's fucked up business. I'm getting close to dying. Got him, motherfucker. Glenzer Healthcare is like the Mr. McMahon song. That was actually the $1 Million Man song, but the money. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah, McCartney was pissed about him buying the Beatles catalog, which I'm surprised he didn't do it himself. But I think Mike just was hip to that shit. He was hip to the whole publishing game, the whole songwriter deal, and that side of the industry, and licensing music. And licensing music is still a big thing. How often you hear those fucking remixes of old songs every time you hear a trailer. It's like here comes an old song and some remix revisiting over epicness of a trailer. Well, that's somebody made a ton of money each time that shit happens. You get the fwam and all that other shit in the trailer. So that's a lot of money getting exchanged there. Video games obviously is a huge thing. Shit, there's people making money off of just selling their music to libraries to sell to you. Those like royalty-free music libraries, there's people making decent money off of that. So there's a lot of money being made in the whole publishing thing. Man, we already went 20 minutes. People are starting to show up. We will start this. I kind of don't consider this to start. I just have to wait for people to start. But once I die, look at the cops. Speaking of Floyd, look what the cops are doing. Evil shit. To unarmed black man. The fuck. And granted, I'm like electrocuting and shit. You know, fuck the police. Shit. Damn it. Pigs, yeah. Fucking demons. What is such a dildo? Such a dildo saying some wild shit. I probably shouldn't repeat if I want to keep the channel going. Even though, did you guys see that? I don't think it's Chat GPT, but it's one of these chats. I'm sure you guys did, cause you know. But where it's like, I'm happy to be white, and it says, you know, you should talk about that subject. And you say, I'm happy to be another race. I'm happy to be black. Then it's like, oh, racial pride is great or some shit like that. Y'all see that shit? Wild shit. Easier. I don't know if you guys saw that. I can't remember, and I don't know if it still does it. But it was one of these automated like AI things. But I mean, hey, that one AI that, you know, who cares about that? The fucking one AI that worked for the police department was like legitimately racist. I mean, it was funny. It's not that funny, you know what I mean? Actual lives are getting affected by that one, so I know some crime statistics. Okay, American Dilbert X. Doesn't mean just randomly pick one out of a hat. Sheesh. So I mean, the AI is going to be a scary thing, as humans are lazy motherfuckers, and they're going to start relying on AIs to do things. Wouldn't start? We already have a society that's been relying on AIs for a lot more than you think. Your credit, for instance, past 10 years, all algorithm. You know, rather than not you get approved for a loan. That's almost all algorithm. I think there's some, you know, human element in some cases, but that's, you know, humans aren't determining whether or not you get a loan. Some fucking some program, some server somewhere is. So, don't laugh at me. I think we're lasting this long. I think we're lasting longer just from playing this game so fucking much. Now I'm like kind of anxious to start the show. Alright. Sheesh, die. Okay. Alrighty, hopefully it's level 16, so yeah, we are getting just further. Sorry for this taking longer than I expected. Usually it's about 15-minute runs. Almost a half an hour in. Oh, that was shitty. At least that was. Sheesh. Sorry for getting all silent and shit. Shouldn't be talking, making this a stream. Sorry about that. Okay, okay. Hurry up. I'm on the but I don't want to be a little quitter. Almost done. Damn it. Alrighty. Floor got toxic just like the internet. I don't know why I did that one liner. I guess it's the mask. That wasn't Paul. That's what I think he said. Oh, shit. Oh shit, looks like I'm about to die. I don't know if we make it to the health. Oh, made it. Let's beat up these fat SJWs. Keep going. Paul died a long time. Oh shit, you talking about the Beatles. Paul McCartney. You know what? That rumor makes a lot more sense now than it did, or is a lot more believable now. The idea that Paul was dead the whole time. I mean, we only had Paul for like 4 years. We had fake Paul most of this time. You know what I mean? So that means Wings and all that other shit. That's fake Paul. Like Ram, all the solo shit. That's fake Paul. If the rumor is true, because what are we supposed to die like 66? Which would mean Ringo's the only living member. You know? I mean, and it's entirely possible, man. Not to go Joe Rogan. It's entirely possible. But like, the music industry, the entertainment industry has so many fucking secrets. There's so much evil shit that's going on in it. You know, like I said, even with the Jamie Foxx thing, there are people thinking that he's being cloned. You know, people think Eminem's a clone. There's all sorts of weird shit. Is it true? I don't know. It wouldn't shock me. So is it true that Paul McCartney really died in 1966? I don't know. But it could have. You know, he could. You know what I mean? Because, you know, before then, they hadn't had a lot of dead artists. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't know there was more money in a dead artist. Plus, they had so many things for the Beatles to do. Had to keep them going. Paul does look like it's a different person following the support. That's another thing. He does look kind of different. They just said, man, all white people looking like they ain't gonna notice, and just tossed them out there. And then the little hint on Abbey Road, he's the only one without shoes. Why does he have shoes on the Abbey Road cover? No one knows. Oh, it's just some artist bullshit. Bullshit. Because he's dead as fuck. That's why you did it. And then doesn't one of the songs play Paul is dead backwards? Shit, Paul is dead. Who knows, man? Who the fuck knows? But if you think the industry's not evil enough to do that bullshit, it's more than evil enough. Shit, didn't when we did the stream just last week with Missy, me and Matt, didn't she say some shit about oh, what was it? Something about the industry. I forgot. Shit. There was I know we covered a lot in like a little time, like 100 different subjects. But she said something about the industry. It just slipped out of my mind. I'm trying to do too many things at once. But it was something like, I don't know. I think this is going to, of course, because I want to stop playing so I can get the show started. I'm about to have the best run in Streets and Rage I've ever had. Fucking course. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to level 19. At least gotta make it to level 20, right? You know, they've made it easier. Some of the recent updates have made the survival mode easier. It's easier to keep combos going. Do more. It seems like you do more damage. And get more health. So I think they've made this a little easier than it used to be. Shit, we know a lot of kids be getting fucked up in the industry. I was watching this thing talking about Justin Bieber, man. There's a lot of shit you see. There's like one of these supercuts. All these different really fucked up moments when Bieber was young too. Like Ellen and a lot of these other entertainers just doing shit that you look back like, that was inappropriate as fuck. And then it ends with him as an older dude, like, you know, very recent, talking about Billie Eilish. Talking about, man, I hope she doesn't go through what I went through, which I already tell she has, man. Her and her brother, man, I don't know what her parents did, but I fully think they did something fucked up. Those kids, they got something dark about them that, like, you can't. I don't know. There's something fucked up about them. I don't want to allege nothing. I don't know nothing for sure, but I just know how the industry works. I know that there's a lot of abuse in the industry. I know that even some of these families will abuse their own kids. You know, so it's again, I couldn't prove nothing. I don't want to say nothing to give me a lawsuit or anything, but I think something happened to those Billie Eilish and her older brother. There's something, and they got like a bond, like a shared trauma. So I don't know. They have to be sure to sacrifice to Mola. Shit, I think I even said something about Mola. And hell, since you dildo. Finally. Been waiting for you to start the show. What the hell, man? Nah. I think I said on 24's video where, was it Zaslav? Zaslav said James Gunn is on a mission from God to save DC, and I say he's on a mission from Molech and Baal, which probably isn't a joke. That's probably legitimate. Allegedly. You know, oh, is this gonna be the end, guys? Shite. No, it's not. We shall see level 20. I mean, that Molech shit's real, man. That I'll say. You know, the Bohemian Grove is real. Oh shit, 3 of these fuckers. The Chrome, I ain't talking about wheels, but the Chrome, that shit's real too, man. How else would you know about it, bro? So I mean, it's some weird shit. Eyes Wide Shut was real, man. You know what I mean? It's not some, you know. Why do you think fucking shit? Why do you think he died, Kubrick? Why do you think he died for making a damn movie, allegedly? With, I think, 30 or 40 minutes edited off of the final cut. So this is just what they wanted us to see. Sheesh. I don't think I'm making it past this shit. We'll see. I'm getting pretty well far. Yeah, man. God cares about DC shit, right? All the shit going on in the world in DC. And James Gunn, of all people, speaking of someone who likes him young, are you kidding? I don't know what God he was talking about. It wasn't the God of the Bible. It's not Yahweh. It's not Yah. Jehovah, you know, not in Jesus' name. That ain't the guy. That can't be. You know, not DC. Which I'm sure we'll talk a little bit when we get into this writer strike. Sheesh, the first 40 minutes of the show, they didn't even want to go 40 minutes. They were even 40 minutes doing this shit. Okay. Can't give up though. Oh, fuck. Oh man, I can kill these motherfuckers. I don't want to die here. No. Bitch. Ah. Okay, level 21. This is the furthest we've ever done with survival. Of course, because I want to start the show. Oh, and then more health. I know I should just probably like quit or something, pause. I just can't, man. It's just not how I'm built, man. There's no help. I'm gonna have to kill my way out of this. Man, I'm not gonna make it. This is gonna be it. Sit. Oh, still got a little bit. Got it. Oh shit, I'm still getting fucked up. Looks like I'm still gonna survive. Shit. Motherfucker flashing red. I've never seen that shit. Okay. See your point. I believe Don't Ruin DC was written the Lost Town is right to the Book of Enoch. Don't mess up the new Batman. Right next to the what's it, Ayunaki? It's like, yeah, don't screw up Batman. I've never seen these motherfuckers flash red. Still got a little hope. Still. Was it written? Yeah, it was in Aramaic though. Obviously. Guess we're still going. This show may never start. I may do this the rest of my life and therefore never start the show. I was just waiting for people, you know, doing this to see. This is. I told you it's gotten easier because there's so much more health. So that because I'm always getting health, I always get a shot. See? No matter how many enemies they toss on the screen. Oh, geez. If the Dead Sea Scrolls have, saved DC. The year 2023, some creepy Hollywood P3DO will save the DC Comics. Which I don't even like James Gunn, bro. I know, did Guardians 3 just come out? Is it out or is it coming out this weekend? I'm not watching it because I don't like the Guardians series anyway. You guys can tell me. I feel like I've seen content talking about it. Or just seeing thumbnails to content talking about it. Still going. What level are we at? 24, something like that? 23. Getting close. Did not expect the whole first hour of the show to be games. I thought it was going to be 15 minutes max. I'd get murked. And that'd be it. But, like I said, they've kind of scaled down this game to journalist mode. Plus, I played it so much, so it is what it is. There you go. Dead Sea Scrolls, Dead Sea, DC. Coincidence? Of course not. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's it. Finally. District of Columbia. Yeah. It's a giant Mason shrine. That is actually confirmed. And then what do we call it? DC. So there we go. It's all fucking confirmed. All right. Finally. This freaking game. It took forever. It's the best run I've ever did. It's a new record. That's cool. That was only supposed to be the intro, so let's get out of here. Hey, finally, Vigilante Williamson here. I'm gonna turn on some light. Let's get a little extra light in here. That no, it's not gonna hit me quite. Ooh. Yep. Okay. Where is? Ooh. That seems way too bright. Kind of diffuse it somewhere. I don't think that's helping. So it's either super brightness or not. All right. How's everybody doing after all this crap? Sorry, that's probably going to be longer than the rest of the show. I don't know how much longer I'm going to go. I'll go at least another hour, but that was a long time just waiting for you guys to show up. Washington, D.C., yeah. So D.C., maybe this is a mission from God to save Detective Comics. Let's just go into the writer's strike. I don't know what you guys have heard about it. I'll keep it a thou wow, despite this being the main event. That and the Canelo. I don't gotta talk about the Canelo stuff. Don't ever disrespect me looking like a hood snowman. I don't look a hood snowman. I don't look good. I need to get some a different Carhartt hat or a different Scully outside of brown though. But yeah, I don't look like a snowman. But no, writer's strike. So my thoughts on the writer's strike. Thoughts on, I don't know what's being argued. I don't know what the writers want. But I definitely blame whoever disrespect me look like a snowman in the hood during Christmas. You heard? See, now you're the NIMS is strong with you. But the writer's strike, I feel like the last writer's strike which is what, 2010-ish. I think, you know, a lot of people, the past 3 to 5 years especially, you know, go woke, go broke. If is it going to be woke, it's going to be woke. Woke, 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 woke. And then that has, for those who don't know, just been an allegory for anything that is agenda driven, in which the story and the characters are less relevant than the agenda that's been tossed in. It's called a lot of divisiveness, not just because of, a lot of times it's intentionally divisive. Then they just call Batman fascist. There's a lot of tearing down these old characters, but the content just hasn't been good. We've now reached a point in Marvel where a lot of the stuff that they did 5-10 years ago, which in my opinion, for the purpose of putting in the movies, we're now here where when they do a Riri Williams, some normie is going to go on Google and say, hey, this is in the comics. You know, they already did her in Black Panther. They didn't do her. It wasn't like a porn. It'd be much more interesting. So she's, I think, supposed to get her own show. They got that Marvels coming out that no one's going to watch. But, you know, Miss Marvel's been a thing in the comics for years. So she even had her own show, right? So all those things that they had put in the comics to come to the big screen are on its way to fruition. And it's been a lot of garbage, for lack of a better term. Marvel's not the same. DC has been a disaster since the Nolan movies, and we can even cut and tell you that the Nolan movies weren't that great in the first place. And on top of that, the comic book space kind of sucked the entire energy off the industry. No pun intended. So the entire industry, as far as scripted entertainment, be it movies or TV, has been dedicated to comic books and superheroes. Even outside of the superhero space, one of the biggest shows the past 10 years was The Walking Dead, right? Comic book based. Obviously, another one of the biggest shows, Game of Thrones, that was based on a book. But most of the content we've gotten, especially the past 5 years, comic books. And I feel like the first writer's strike got us here. It got a lot of new people hired who maybe weren't the most qualified as far as their talent of writing. Maybe they were hired for demographic reasons, and maybe they pushed demographics as their forte. And they got a lot of people hired in. It made the focus comic book movies almost only, because you just had to adapt something as far as the writing goes. Just, you know, is Civil War exactly like Civil War in the comics? No. Right? Is even Infinity War, some of these things, are they like the things in the comics completely? No, but that gives you a framework in which to work. You know, even the Nolan movies had some, the Long Halloween, especially for the Dark Knight, was definitely a huge influence, and obviously that's not come out as an animated thing. But basically, the first writer's strike, and I say the first, I know obviously that wasn't the first, the most recent one before now, led us to the entertainment industry we have now. Good and bad. It led us to a comic book heavy movie industry, Fast and Furious as the only other thing outside of comic book movies, and mid-scripted drama. I mean, scripted drama was actually kind of peaking at the time, if you remember. And I guess some people might say it's coming back. I haven't watched Reacher and some of the other stuff people like. Just say it. Say what it is, white women. You can blame white women. You definitely can. You definitely can. No data. Whoa, you can't blame white women or your stream may go down. But this just showed me no data like my stream. Did my stream mess up when I said white women? So shit, I ain't blaming them. It ain't their fault. All power to the pig vagina, I guess. What the fuck was that? Drinking bougie water. Papa Cotton, I feel you. Says, I really couldn't give a fuck about movies, to be honest. Well, that's where I was going. Me and my brother were talking about, man, most of the time we watch YouTube and Twitch. I did people didn't really watch the video, but I did a video a few weeks ago about Sucker Carlson and Don Lemon. And it's like, hey, they're probably going to go to the internet because the internet's a bigger platform than CNN. Instagram's a bigger platform. TikTok's a bigger platform. YouTube's a bigger platform than CNN and Fox News. the first writer strike set us up for this because it made content a lot worse, a lot more formulaic, which it always has been, right? A lot less originality, a lot more safety. You know, they're praying to Molech to save DC. A lot more corporately made media. And now we have a new writer strike. On top of that, we have a point where scripted media is failing and any quantifiable word. I just saw, and I should look it up to be sure, but Disney Plus has lost like 6 or 7 million people since the beginning of the year as far as subscribers. Netflix, which is the king of the space as far as streaming services, still is not doing well and they're losing subs. That's why they have this new not sharing the password thing they're doing. We're at a point where scripted content is already failing. And then the writers are striking. The writers that, quite frankly, haven't been that good the past 10 years. Now, maybe they've been doing it with a hand or both hands tied behind their back. And I'm not trying to, never mind. But maybe they have been had hands tied behind their back because of this agenda shit, because of all the money issues. Shit, we can talk all day. I even leaks into the boxing thing. The money issues a lot of these networks and these major companies have had. I mean, this just seems like a perfect story. This really feels like the death blow for scripted drama. That's what it feels like. I don't think that the industry can survive another writer strike, quite frankly, because it was already on its way to death. I almost feel like this is the acceleration point of the death of scripted drama because it was already so bad the past few years. Is there something worth watching? I go to F movies and watch. Otherwise, I couldn't give a fuck any less. Dildo. That's another thing. We are on the internet. Tortuga, so to speak. The sailing the high seas, so to speak, for content. Are people going to theaters? We just spent 3 years conditioning people to not go to theaters. And that they will watch a day and date on their streaming service. And even if they don't watch a day and date, they wait a month, it'll be there. So going to the theaters is pretty much dead outside of, experience. And shit, independent of that, hell, New Bomb Turk. But hell, independent of even the theaters, dating has been ruined. So people go on less dates than they used to. There's less reason to even go to the theater outside of the movie. So there's another little cultural, shot at the entertainment industry or the modern or the, I'll say past entertainment industry. I think this writer strike is the death blow. I think it's speeding up what was, what? Okay, sorry about that. Hopefully my mic is good. Okay. It's speeding up something that was already about to happen because, I said this off stream to like Vigilante, but Kai Cenat is already bigger than Jimmy Fallon. He's the new Jimmy Fallon. He's the new late night host. I don't know if he's late night, but he's the new host that people send their new celebrity to go try to make someone into a bigger star to market. Oh, I got a new album, I got a new movie out. So that now we're at a point where the old guard is not even where people are going to, especially my age and younger. I'm in my mid-30s. I think people 40 and under, how many people got a cable? I can't remember the last time I paid for cable. Actually, I can. Just thought about it. It's when I was still living at home because my mom Jelani and sis Jelani liked cable. With Guardians of the Galaxy 3, the cam version was actually watchable. Surprised by the quality. Can't wait. Was up days after the release. Huh. Well, I mean, I didn't want to watch that anyway. It was not my bag, but that's another death blow. Like we were saying, man, if you can Tortuga that motherfucker. And, granted, is Tortuga new? Are the high seas new? No. But there's no engendered interest in going to the theater anymore. Like I said, one of the big things, dating has been killed. So that's a social reason. That didn't really help. Colin Ferguson was going to have to come back to late night. He was one of the best late night hosts. Might be too little too late. I don't know if late night's still a genre, man. For, back when I was younger, It was a joke. That's something to play in the background while you're smashing somebody. But it's not even that no more, man. Who's playing that? Who's putting on Fallon or what's the Kimmel or any of these losers on Late Night or Colbert? I mean, do people really watch this shit? They don't watch it like they used to watch even Conan, let alone Letterman or Leno or Carson a generation before. People don't watch like that. Leno had crazy ratings compared to what they're doing now. Craig Ferguson. I knew who you meant. I think I might have said Colin, but Craig Ferguson. That twat Corden was losing $20 million a year for the network to do that show. I've never been a James Corden fan. Holy smoke, losing $20 million a year. Whew. A lot of stuff is hemorrhaging money though, man. A lot of these shows hemorrhage fucking money. So like the writers, you're telling me everything in scripted drama is about to get worse and take the same level of downgrade it did after that first writer strike 10, 15 years ago? In an era where now everything is damn near already about to be replaced? I'm sorry, that's the death blow. That's the death blow. It's over, guys. Scripted drama is over. It is, it's in hospice. It's in hospice now. The ratings were already piss poor. As much as everyone talked shit about Batwoman, remember that? It was like, how could this keep getting a new episode with the ratings? How could this get new season? And there was shit that had, better ratings that still got canceled. But there was a lot of stuff that had worse ratings than Batgirl or Batwoman. You would be surprised. There were tons of shows below Batwoman in the top 200 or whatever it was. Tons of shows. Even though it was in the bottom tier, it still was above so much. Yeah, I remember Heroes. I watched the whole first 2 seasons of that shit. Save the Cheerleader, Save the World. I know what you're talking about. New Bomb. For my schedule, I couldn't do new movie releases the same. I had to wait till my days off anyways. Yeah. $60 million for the Corden show? $60 million. You know what this cost? Like, this little thing. This water is expensive because I'm a bougie asshole. But like, that's what it costs. I guess the mask. But I mean, I've worn this mask a bunch. How many wears I get out of it? So now it's, no more costs, no more production costs. I'm using the shitty webcam. You can see how shitty the lighting is. How to make $40 million? Yeah. Well, advertising ain't cheap on TV. That's the thing. So that's where a lot of money gets back. You just charge out the ads for advertising. But that's, it's more effective to run ads on Instagram. It's more effective to run ads on TikTok. It's more effective to run ads on YouTube. So, like, there's nothing, turn out the lights, the party's over. The industry cannot survive this writer strike. I will be shocked. I don't know how it can. How? No one really wants to watch movies. No one really wants to watch TV. You have antagonized at least half of all your fans off the strength of the bullshit content you make. Who's going to watch it? It's all about that carpool karaoke, right? How much does that cost? You need like a fucking cheap dash cam and get that shit done. But like, there's no, and you're competing with assholes like me on the internet, of which there are thousands and thousands, if not millions, all with our little small fan bases. Mine's is regrown. We'll be up. There'll be 70 to 100 people in the chat at one point in the future, hopefully. There'll be thousands of views watched on this channel, hopefully. We got a couple of at least one video like that. And I think the algorithm is trying to compete with TikTok. Cause I'm seeing a lot more unknown content creators just as a viewer. So that's gonna be good. Long term, if YouTube allows for growth a little bit more, if Rumble, I think a lot more places, a lot more content creators are at least experimenting with Rumble. Must have cost a bundle to have that tow the minivan around. Oh yeah, for the that car karaoke. You're probably right. Maybe that was what it cost. It will survive somehow. How much is BlackRock going to spend? They have to keep it alone. Like, I mean, if the shadow funds companies want to keep this shit along, they can, because they have endless supply of money. So I'm not alone. I think that's helped my channel. The algorithm change. Who knows? Maybe if we did it on the old channel, we would still have some of the same growth we're having. But I think they're trying to compete with TikTok because TikTok makes stars over fucking night. And so they're like, okay, we can't be this suppressive assholes this whole time. We got to start giving the push to lower channels so they can become bigger channels. Therefore, we can run more ads on them and make more money ourselves. And that's nothing. Money, everyone's having money problems right now. Money is a major issue, to quote Trina. So a lot of companies that were 2 or 3 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, just like, oh, we'll be woke or we'll be anti. I'm not going to use that term woke. It's just fucking dumb, right? Because we're woke on how the world really works. That's, But we're going to be agenda driven. We're going to antagonize the fans because they're going to still buy it. That shit, you can still do it with some things. You can still do it with Madden. Probably still could do it with Star Wars. How many people watched Andor, even though Star Wars is failing? I think, they got enough diehards that they're bringing Ray back. People are still watching The Mandalorian. You know what I'm saying? They got enough diehards that they'll keep it going. But you can't do that with everything. You can't just roll a new show out there, roll a movie out there, and we're just going to watch it. That's dead. That's dead. This is the new stomping ground. The internet, YouTube, social media, all that other shit. They need the propaganda wing. But they have to be smarter. I think we're going to see, and I've said this before, more subtle propaganda. They are not going to be overt, crazy, you know what I mean? Like, we're not going to get another Captain Marvel. Even the Marvels that's coming out, they're not aiming for Captain Marvel. They're aiming for almost like this cutesy buddy cop thing, but they're not aiming for the same, like, super feminist, garbage. Even, as wonky as that Black Panther was, the recent one, it was a lot less woman, even king than I thought it would be. It still has some woman king elements, right? Some black feminism in it, but it was a lot understated to me, even compared to the first movie. I think we're going to see that element be a lot more subtle, the propaganda way. New game, yeah. And honestly, I think that game, they fucked up. They should have kept that in the oven. That game probably shouldn't have came out till later this year. I think they did what a lot of game companies do. They're greedy as shit, and they want. And this pisses me off. And this is why I'm not gonna buy Street Fighter at launch. I may wait a week, but I want to know how that game runs, because a lot of these motherfuckers really want to release something essentially early access and have us pay for it, and I'm not with that. So once they fix that game and once it's on sale, I'll get it and maybe play it on the channel. I got the first one talking about Jedi Survivor, but I'm not buying it at launch because if you guys remember on the old channel, my fucking video, that was one of my biggest videos for a while, me glitching through the world of fucking Cyberpunk at launch. So apparently the game is solid as a game, but it's the way it runs, the optimization, it doesn't run well. So they have to patch everything out. It'll take them months to fix it. And so, that's another issue, especially because the game series, this new game series they have, seems like it's gotten really popular and maybe something they could have built on. We'll see. But listen, is every company going to die overnight? Disney is still big. They'll still exist, even though they're losing money left and right. The truth is, a lot of these companies, companies like Netflix and shit never profited. A lot of these companies, they only exist because they're able to make their minimum credit payments and keep extending their credit. That's the truth. That's the truth of a lot of major businesses. They do not actually profit. They fudge numbers. They use creative. I shouldn't say fudge. I don't want to get myself sued. They use creative accounting tactics, and they make their minimum credit payments, and they keep the train going. And that's going to get a lot harder because there's going to be just a lot less cash coming in, and which is why they can't be as overt with the propaganda. They have to have some entertainment value. They have to. Maybe they'll use the strike to remove the shit writers and some good talent, or maybe they'll start using AI. I'm going with the AI, bro. They've already started the AI. There's no doubt that the AI has wrote a lot of the stuff we've got in the past 5 years anyway. Netflix hasn't made money since they operated like Redbox. Wow. That's crazy. That's ironic, too. They needed physical media to actually operate at a profit. But don't get me wrong. I mean, companies are still, big companies like Disney, they're not dead yet. Even DC. They got that Flash movie coming out, and I don't really want to see it. And I made the decision on that. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna go the 7 Seas route for that. I don't want to give them any of my money, but I give them enough of my money. There's a reason, if you're wondering, it just hit me why they're releasing that Flash movie and they didn't release the Batgirl movie. Let me show you guys. I got shit in the way. Let's show you. Records. Here we go. But this is not. This isn't related to the Flash movie. But look at this. Action figures and merch. This is why that Flash movie's coming out and Batwoman wasn't. Because if they're both dumpster fires, one movie is going to sell merch. Is going to sell stuff. They're already sold out of a lot of those Batman action figures and things like that for this upcoming movie. They don't make money. They care about market share like Uber. Fair enough. That's what Uber did. They lost a lot of money to get the market share, then they raised the prices later. They don't. Same here. Not touching the Flash movie in the theater. Monopolized and monetized. But is it going to work for Uber? It might fall. It might not work for Uber. We'll see. They do have they have a user base that's addicted to it. And what do I say? I'm still getting Uber Eats and DoorDash because I'm a fat fuck. So I can't say much. A formerly fat fuck. Gotta use my better self-talk. We'll stop those fucking DoorDash trips soon. But is it going to work? And every company doesn't succeed doing that. That was the same thing Pets.com tried. That was the same thing all those bubble companies in the 90s tried. Only one that survived was Amazon. And I guess eBay too. But a lot of those companies tried to let's get market share. Let's just raise money, get market share, we'll profit later. Only a few companies survive that way. Now, maybe there's a little bit more smoother ways to do it now, but long term, I don't know. There goes Batman and Hush. But yeah, I think this is the death blow for the entertainment industry. Only see Uber drivers around here. Haven't seen a Lyft window light in a while. I see. So maybe. But I think that's different markets. Because I still see Lyfts around here. And I saw Lyfts even when I was in Charlotte. But I mean, that was a year ago. So what can I say? But you'll still see a Lyft. The little Lyft light. But you see Uber, Lyft, whatever. What other stuff we got? Let's see. I ain't gonna talk about that. I'm going to go with 2 more subjects the rest of the thing because this has already gone a long time with the video game thing. 2 semi-sports subjects, I guess. One is kind of extended. Like I actually said when I was playing video games. Shout out to the boxing-related content and the boxing-related fans that maybe sub to my channel. Really appreciate it. It's having kind of dipped my toes in this boxing space. You have both, but Uber is more prevalent. I see. Thank you for that, New Bomb. Having dipped my toe in this boxing space, I'm realizing as a consumer even that there is not a lot of unbiased commentary on boxing. I'm going to aim to bring it there, especially from a perspective of someone who recognizes boxing isn't the end all be all of the earth. And there's a reason boxing gets behind MMA, at least in this country. There's a reason, most people don't know who the world heavyweight champion is. They don't know who Alexander Usyk is and Tyson Fury are. Not the average person. Not like they did when it was even Evander Holyfield or Lennox Lewis, let alone Mike Tyson. Or, of course, a generation before that, whether it was Larry Holmes, well, that's not quite a whole generation, or Ali or whoever. All right, Newbaum's leaving on the boxing line. It's too much. Nope, you got to head to work. All right, Newbaum, appreciate you being here. Hopefully you can watch the playback. But hopefully that's like, okay, seeing how much racialized or nationalized or content based upon the promoter worship, people have their favorites. Now, of course, I'm gonna have my biases or whatnot. I'm not, I'm human, whatever. But I gotta aim towards unbiased. And one of the things that is, and also I do want to say this: why am I even covering sports when I know sports to be fake? I've had my man Pat Truthner on my old channel. I joke about it all the time. I do still believe sports are faked. They are rigged. There's just too much evidence. I want to do some more content with I think the Tim Donaghy scandal is the most concrete evidence to how rigged sports are, especially when the report, you realize how many lies were told during the reporting and it's still being told by companies and media companies who should know more. But why still cover sports at all? Because I still think sports, like art, like anything, still has something to say about the human condition. Still has something to say. There's something to gain about the real. It's also a reflection of the real world. There's something to gain about life looking at sports. There's something to get. There's a reflection of the real world, a reverberation of the world that we live in within sports. And there's still an interest in what you see from it. So that's why I'm still covering it. I've done a lot of boxing content that's really helped the channel, and I'm going to continue. And so let's start with Canelo over the weekend versus John Ryder. Lots of interesting things to pull off of this. I kind of mentioned Canelo's trainer, Eddie Reynoso, talking about how black fighters just jab and run, even though Canelo probably won't even face another black fighter the rest of his career. I don't know how much longer he's going to go, but, there's like 3 or 4 guys that people, one of the Charlos, so no, the younger one, well, they're both the same age, they're twins. The smaller one has called him out. Maybe he'll fight one of those, but outside of the Charlos, there's no black fighters for him to even consider. Andrade, maybe, but I think he's Afro-Latino, not necessarily black American. I don't know. So that's their weird thing, and it's similar to Teofimo Lopez, who's also talking about the black fighters, and it's similar because, one, you have a European fighter that you're supposed to fight. He has to fight Josh Taylor, another Brit. And two, the similarity is it seems like it's a distraction from what you should be focused on. And then I found out Eddie Reynoso apparently has 4 different fighters, including Canelo, that have popped dirty for steroids. So it just seems like, bro, you really need to focus more. Holy smokes. Since I don't think you have told me that, Vig, have you ever told you? I filmed an interview with Holyfield towards in France years ago. He's promoting some shit on this music con we went to. Can't remember. It was many joints ago. Yeah, I get it. Smoke a lot. And I'm sure he's a guy he's not super punch drunk. He's not as punch drunk as Riddick Bowe, but he's still pretty. He was a professional boxer. You can tell he was a professional boxer. But that's pretty cool. Real deal Holyfield. Speaking of steroids, Evan Fields. If you can look up Evan Fields if you're interested, and how long steroids have been a part of boxing, even before then. But I thought it was weird. Like, okay, what are you worried about us? But then Canelo goes out and he looks a little less elusive. God damn it, he looks a little less. His gas tank doesn't quite look the same. He doesn't look quite the same. And I hate to say that. I'm not a Canelo diehard by any means, but I don't want to be the guy who's like, oh, fuck Canelo, even though some of that shit's funny. I ain't gonna lie to you. Some of that shit's funny. Shout out to Softball TV. I was dying. I've been not spamming. Yeah, well, just binging his content. This shit's hilarious. But I'm trying to respect greatness. I try to respect, people who have been at something a long time. Even somebody like LeBron James in basketball. Don't really care for him, but he's one of the greats. So, and his career's wrapping up. I don't want to be the guy who makes, oh, this guy sucks, fuck him, Jordan's better. Even if I think Jordan's better, cool. I want to respect greatness for what it is. And I don't want to be in this thing where, and this happened with the Canelo thing, John Ryder, the guy he's fighting, the guy whose nose he broke, in the second round, knocked him down 2 or 3 times. Had he knocked him out in the 5th, a lot of criticism that Canelo had, he wouldn't be getting. But John Ryder himself, after getting his ass beat pretty much most of the fight, so maybe the last 2 rounds, you can maybe give him the last 2 rounds if you want to be generous. But, has this little thing around his nose. Nose is clearly broken. And he's saying, yeah, Canelo's lost a step. And it's like, you know what? That assessment may be fair, but who the fuck are you to say anything? And this is why I'm trying to be unbiased. I'm pissed at whatever Reynoso said. I think it's bullshit, but at the same time, I'm not just going to shit on Canelo just hardcore, just based off of that. I'm going to assess what happened. Hey, Ogre Squasher. How you doing? I have not got a P.O. box yet. Have not. Maybe I should. At least around 100 subs. And subs have been doing really good, man. Thank you. You know what I realized? If you do anything, which you don't have to, I will not know because things are not hooked up for this channel. So, if you plan on doing something, which you don't have to. You've been the best guy. Just chill. But you would have to let me know. It won't surprise. I'll just wake up and see. So, I just wanted to do that. So, thank you for being here, man. Just, chill out. No pressure, no nothing. But I do not have a P.O. box yet. And hey, if there's anything you want me to talk about, your grandfather then, man, for forever, man. You're the man. You basically kept the old channel going. You're here on the new channel. I thank you a million times. Yeah, you're the man. Canelo. So yeah, Canelo is getting a lot of criticism. Talk about another racialized thing. The Mexican fans started to walk out toward the end. Apparently they didn't sell all those tickets to that big building. Apparently they had to give away a lot of tickets. And he's at a point in his career where he can't really fight another guy like John Ryder again. Especially if he's going to get all this criticism for beating the shit out of him. He can't afford to fight lesser competition. It just doesn't. Oh my God, see, that's what I was worried about. Holy shit. Oh, about to send me a Cessna filled with coke. $101.11. See, I got to hook it up for the Ogre Squasher. Holy smokes. I got to play something now. There's got to be a way to play the old content. I think I know. Hold on. We're going to figure something out, Ogie. Let's first see if I can. Oh, here comes navigating through. Is the Vigilante white? No, this doesn't have batteries. Oh, Lord. Oh, dear. All right, I'm going to have to go off camera to see what you said. Here's this. Okay. Sorry, guys. Thank you so much, man. There are no words to state how much this shit helps, especially nowadays. So let us. Oh, is it gonna let me log in? The fudge? Oh my God, they changed the site. How do you log in? Oh, I just want to see what you said. This is ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, 101.11. And there's all that. You didn't say anything. Well, thank you, man. Thank you anyway. I appreciate it. You probably already said that in the chat. Thank you. Oh, shit. We're at infinity and beyond. That's not what I want to do. There we go. Thank you, man. You're keeping the lights on in the Vigilante cave. Seriously, man. There's the infinity stones. Just looking at the preview screen. And there we go. We're back to reality. Back to life. Back to reality. What was I talking about before that? I mean, I owe you my life. I owe you something. Now, I'm not going to give you adrenochrome. I'm not going to do anything gay for pay. So you're a cool dude. I like you. I don't like you that much, Ogie. But is there anything I could send you? Do you have a P.O. box? I owe you so much for what you contributed to this channel. Let me know. I can't send you a Cessna full of coke, but if there's ever anything I could do, or you're ever in the Houston area, because now I'm based out of Houston instead of Charlotte, let me know. Let me know, because I owe you the world, man. But back to Canelo. He's in a weird place. He's at what's beginning the tail end of his career. He can't afford to me, he can't really afford any lower level competition because he's just going to get criticized. I don't necessarily join in, I agree, he lost a step, or it looks to lost a step, but I don't necessarily think he's just going to lose his next fight because he didn't knock out John Ryder. I don't necessarily, as much as I think of Benavidez, and I think Benavidez is a good fighter, I don't necessarily share everybody's assuredness that he's just going to beat the hell out of Canelo. You don't owe nothing. You enjoy the streams. You said don't owe you nothing. You said I enjoy the stream. I feel like I owe you everything, man. You really keep this stuff going, man, monetarily. So I appreciate it a ton. I hope you're watching the stuff on the playback. I hope you're enjoying the content. I know we've changed directions. Not quite as entertaining. Basically, we just talked about the writer strike earlier. But thank you, man. Thank you. Seriously, man, I don't even know what to say. But let me just, I guess, get back to the topic so we can keep the show rolling. Canelo, I get the criticisms. I don't think the sky's falling quite yet. I don't think he's done quite yet. I do think Bivol will beat him. I think Benavidez should beat him, but I don't know that. And I still want to see those fights. And I hope that some of this backlash, even though I don't like the idea that we're getting, not just with boxing, but in everything in society, if you're not perfect, you're terrible. This guy would have knocked out John Ryder in the 5th round. There would not be any criticism. Everybody would, Canelo's so great. He's still the greatest. And everybody be sucking his dick. But he only dominated him for the entire fight and takes his foot off the gas, and he's getting booed out of the building, and people are leaving, and everyone's saying Canelo's trash, and he's too old, and everything. It's like, there's got to be balance, man. And again, I'm not necessarily happy with Reynoso, and ironically enough, another guy who's been helping this channel out, Ryan Garcia, he might be back in the Canelo gym, and I'm finding out that Reynoso has so many fighters under steroids. I'm not sure if him going back to Canelo's gym is a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe it is a good thing if he can allegedly get some juice on and be a better fighter, but I'm not sure. I really am starting to wonder if Reynoso is even a good trainer, even with Canelo. If you look at the last few fights, if you look at with Bivol, he didn't really make any adjustments. Is Reynoso a really good trainer, or is he just a guy who has the source on gear and the source on the sauce, and he just puts people's gloves on and goes about their day? Ooh, if I'm thinking of getting new Cali audio monitors, found a great option. Check out Cali Audio N8. 3 ways for $800. Huh. $800 a piece, $800 a pair, question mark. Monitors is going to take a while to upgrade, even though I do want to eventually upgrade, but I think I need to upgrade some of the treatment first. But I had to check into those. But long and short, as far as Canelo goes, man, the sky's not falling yet. He's getting older. He is aging. It is different. As much as I don't like the be perfect or die mentality, I really do hope this keeps him fighting more credible opponents where you realize, you know what, maybe the fans are not going to buy me fighting a John Ryder, somebody who was beaten by 3 or 4 guys. $800 a pair? Holy shit. I might have to look into those. That's a really good price. Because that's why I said $800. You can really pay $1,000 a piece for monitors. No problem. I have to look into those. Cali Audio IN8. I'll look into those. That's a pretty good price. But yeah, Canelo ain't dead yet. Hopefully he fights better opponents because of the bullshit from this weekend. Hopefully that encourages him to fight other opponents. This is going to be the last formal topic. I may stay and just talk to you guys. Because I recognize that even though I'm trying to expand my fan base and talk more about different things, a lot of this channel has just been interacting with you. You know what I mean? Interacting with Cinch Dildo, Ogre Squasher. Newbound obviously went away to go to work, but the different iterations of Papa Cotton, rather Zach, Small Time Public was here earlier. I don't know if he's still lurking, but whoever. That's been a thing. And even though I'm expanding, I may clip things out, I still got to be loyal to you guys. So I'm only going to go one more quote-unquote newish topic. And this is an interesting one. Probably should look for an article, but I saw the clip. This goes to anyone who's watching the NBA. And I have not been covering the NBA playoffs as much, really at all. I don't think I've done anything on the NBA playoffs. But there was this interesting interview that Patrick Beverley, player for the now he's on the Chicago Bulls. He's played for a lot of teams. He was asked how many people in the NBA don't really care about it or aren't passionate about it. Let me see if I can find the exact phrase. And let me go maskless. Let's see. I want to get the quote exact because I don't want to mess it up. Let's see. Yeah. He says 50% of NBA players do not love basketball. As a matter of fact, we can actually pull up the article. I think. Let's make sure. Yeah, we'll pull up the article, old school style, and try to read through this fucking mask, which is going to be his own can of worms. Okay. Patrick Beverley says 50% of NBA players do not love basketball. And him saying this, he says players love the money, some love the lifestyle, I can't read through the mask. I'm not even gonna try. I just wanted to get the quote right. 50% of players do not love the game. That almost puts into words something I felt as a fan, but didn't know how to express. If you ever hear anyone talks about how the game was as opposed to how it is, if you're a Gen Z or later fan, you'll say, oh, the people are more skilled. Those guys were just plumbers and all this other shit. If you're an older fan, yeah, lifestyle in it, right? You get to pay $500,000 for Ice Spice pussy. We talk about older players will say, oh, no, guys had different skills. 3 points were less relevant. They played better defense and all these things. And then, they're clearly more skilled now, or at least they're not more skilled because certain skills have gone away and gone out of favor. They're more offensively skilled. I'll say that. And in particular, shooting and dribbling. I don't know if they're better at passing. I really don't think they are. I think they're equivalent, or at least maybe even less in some cases. I mean, there's some great passers now. You got LeBron, even though his turnover ratio is not perfect. Obviously, Jokic, who maybe got cheated out of MVP, ? Or a makeup call with MVP. That was pretty weird that Embiid got it. That was a video I wanted to do. I may still do. But yeah, we do have an era where guys can shoot better. They can shoot better free throws. They can shoot better 3 points. That's not, arguable. The 3-point percentage is higher. And I would say ball handling is improved, even though, to be fair, the rules are a little bit different. So they're a lot more relaxed, allowing for a lot more ball handling tricks. And I have a better ball handle than I did when I was younger because it's a lot easier to learn how to get a good ball handle because there's so much information. There's so many drills. So if you're a kid that's 7 years old, you can go on YouTube, you can learn a bunch of drills, you can practice a bunch of drills, and by the time you're 15 to 20 or, 17, 18, and you're about to go to college or even potentially in the NBA, because I think they're changing the rules pretty soon, now you've practiced at a high level from high level drills for 10, 15 years. Where before, there was no fucking knowledge. People just did whatever the fuck. If somebody knew, the little trick about putting a basketball in a bag or some shit to try to get a handle. People didn't have the knowledge to gain some of the skills they had now. So really it's a matter of knowledge. But there still was something different. I couldn't put my finger on it. I couldn't, I didn't want to, because I'm in a weird generation. I'm the generation I grew up with Kobe, and I am only a few years younger than LeBron. I am around the same age as Steph Curry. I think I am the same age as Steph Curry. So I saw the league change into what it is now, and I knew there's a lot more 3-point shots, but I'm like, there's something else, and I can't put my finger on it. And I feel like Pat Bev has put to words what I was feeling. It is effort. It is the actual love of the game. Don't get me wrong. Everybody did not love the game when I was a kid. There'll never be 100% because it is a job, right? Just like I have a job, I don't necessarily love the job. No, you can't play 80s D. Nobody will finish the game. You can't play 80s D. And listen, man, sometimes people say it's overrated. I'm telling you, I've seen some crazy games. I remember, was it the Celtics? I want to say 81, maybe the Eastern Conference Finals, Celtics Sixers. And a guy, I want to say it's Cedric Maxwell, goes into the fucking crowd, Malice in the Palace style. Not only did they not suspend him, he just plays the rest of the game. I think he had 30 points. Seriously, look it up. I'm almost sure Cedric Maxwell, the 81 or 82 playoffs, goes into the fucking crowd like Ron Artest in the 80s. And they just like, whatever. It's like no big deal. Because it was a different era. We had a total different attitude towards violence in this country, especially hand-to-hand violence back then. We probably have a lot less gun violence. We had a little more hand-to-hand violence. If you could just get punched in the face for saying something dumb, that's a whole other can of worms. But like that 80s basketball is what you think it is. They've evolved magic gloves and drugs. There's another thing that I was just talking about steroids. You don't think there's steroids in the NBA, bro? Especially, you think that, why do you think all of a sudden guys can just launch these logo shots? It used to be, you get fatigued, you shoot so many threes. Now these guys are launching logo shots late in the playoffs, no problem. That EPO helps. EPO helps, allegedly. But the effort's not there. That effort, and that's something you can't quantify. I used to know, shout out to like the 9th, 10th guys on the bench in the Pistons. I think it was my man Michael Curry. Not that Michael Curry. Was it Michael Curry? I think his name was Michael Curry. Yeah. He was like, he gave me an autograph outside of one of the games when they were still playing in the Palace back in the day. And he wasn't the top player on the Pistons, nowhere close. My namesake, Corliss Williamson. That's where I got Vigilante Williamson from, the Williamson part. He was the 6th or 7th man, but everybody gave effort. If you look at Ben Wallace, who played obviously still with the Pistons, all he did was rebound. There's Karl Anthony Towns is more skilled than him. He can dribble better, he can shoot better, but all Ben Wallace did was hustle. All he did was hustle. Gerald Wallace, not related. He's a guy, I'm sure 90% of these players are more skilled than him. I'm sure Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, all of them have way more skills. But man, they don't that effort. Not saying those players in particular. I think they give a good effort. The top players still give a good effort. But that effort from top to bottom that you used to get from an NBA game, you don't get. And now somebody has actually quantified that. It might be higher than 50%, man. We're in the Instagram thought era, bro. And yeah, you're right. You should let everybody juice. I am so pro steroids in sports because they're already there. And now it's almost like gun control. Yeah, it'd be nice to live in a world where everyone holds hands and everything's peaceful. But we live in a world where guns are already here. So taking them away just from the legal citizens doesn't help things. See Chicago. That's another can of worms. Shout out to Chicago anyway. But yeah, let everyone juice. Let everyone juice. So therefore, it's an even playing field across the board. Instead of some people juicing, some people not doing it. It's just ridiculous. But that effort's not there, and I think it makes for a worse product, man. That's why it's like, man, I haven't really watched the playoffs. I don't really care as much as I used to. Part of it, again, is knowing that everything's fucking fake. That Donahue documentary did a number on me. But it's just like, man, they don't try as hard. You know what I'm saying? Wrestling's fake too. But back in the 80s and 90s, they gave such a crazy effort and I bought it. And I mean, they're still giving a crazy effort for all this other shit. You're taking them away. You're never going to take away the steroids or the guns, whichever one you're talking about. They're never going away. So you might as well make the player feel even. Might as well. And shit, that's another problem. I mean, I would say, you know what? 50% don't care. The other 50% is on juice. At least in the NBA. And maybe more have tried it and used it to get into the NBA. So, but yeah, I definitely can feel that everyone's not giving their top effort. Everyone's not going balls to the wall every night. And again, I don't want to make it seem like, you know, the good old days, everything was just better and everybody, no, everyone didn't care. If you were on a losing team, yeah, you might not have cared as much on a winning team. But, man, there's something different about the way that the NBA looks. I think these Instagram hoes are one of the most underrated the facers of the NBA, because so many guys are spending their entire day just lining up bitches off Instagram. And that is their entire focus, is going on Instagram and shopping for hoes by sliding in the DMs. And basketball is like the 10th thousandth thing on their mind. Plus, there's a lot less practices because of a lot of CBAs that have been signed, and so they don't practice as much. So they're not forced to put as much effort in their craft. So they, the lifestyle, as you said earlier, since they're the lifestyle in it, they live a totally different lifestyle, and they're making so much more money. There are guys making $40-50 million a year now in the NBA. Bench warmers making $10-15 million a year. And I'm not saying, listen, I'm sure they'll bust the ass of the average player, but, a lot of those guys are just fucking comfortable. Ben Simmons is the poster child for that. Zion Williamson, no relation, maybe a new poster child, saying, I'll come back when I feel 100% like Zion. People don't, and people shouldn't play through injuries. Going back to the Pistons, Grant Hill ruined his career trying to be the tough guy, do it right for the team, play through injury. I get that, but now we're in low management days where guys miss half the season just cause, and then still miss the playoffs. Looking at you, Kawhi, and where the Kyrie was suspended for political reasons a lot of the time. We're in a different NBA, and it's made it a less watchable NBA. Look at McGregor. He can opt out of testing, then cut back, twice the size. Yo, that's so fucked up. UFC is such a fucked up place. Oh my God, bro. Don't get me started on Dana White privilege, bro. I mean, Conor McGregor and John Jones can do whatever they want. The rules do not apply to them at all. Thank you, Mike DiCarlo. Bro, that steroid thing with them. And Conor, holy smokes. Even Joe Rogan said something about Conor. Like, bro, we saw you when you were naturally traded. You were never that big. Never. You're like twice the size, literally twice the size. He could come back at heavyweight. I mean, I think he's cut since he got at his biggest on the gear. Because there was a point where he had to be like 200 pounds. All muscle. Like, yeah, right. You didn't do this naturally. No, you didn't. It's Dana White privilege, bro. If you get in good with Dana White, the rules don't apply to you. They don't. It's a different rule set for you than everyone else. Oh, Brock did what he did. You know who else? I mean, there was other people who got away. Yoel Romero. Shout out to Yoel Romero. Shout out to Alistair Overeem. Shout out to Paul Acosta. There's been, was it Nate Diaz or Nick Diaz? Diaz brothers are killing them. Would you fight one of them? I used to always say, everyone's on steroids. Cyborg, she damn near transitioned. You know what I'm saying? Cyborg's damn near about to transition. How much gear she's taking? Allegedly, don't sue me. But yeah, that MMA, they are, and they have boxing has this too. Was it the therapeutic use exemptions? I don't know if they still have them, but that's the rumor about Anthony Joshua, that he has some therapeutic use exemption. Shit. I mean, what do you guys think about combat sports? I'm kind of mixed on steroids and combat sports. Ubery, is it really? I've always said Overeem, but it means Dutch, so it's probably right. You're probably right. But I kind of almost feel like let them, because we have so much steroid use, just go ahead. I know that sounds brutal because it makes it a blood sport. Yoel, that good copy Cuban juice, bro. Yoel Romero, no way you can convince me that human being has like hit those traps. Those humans don't generate traps like that, not on their own. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. As my hat falls off, just blows my mind. My hat fell off. Yeah, man. I think with MMA, a lot of these sports, man. Canelo's allegedly on juice. Tyson Fury, this wild boar meat, he's popped dirty, and he doesn't even have. So that's what people need to realize. Tyson Fury's not going to win any bodybuilding contest, but even he allegedly was on some steroids. Allegedly, was a D'Angelo is some hard shit too. D'Angelo is not no weak shit. That's some hard shit, bro. That's some hardcore shit, and he does not look chiseled out of granite. So you can imagine how, and there's so many different PEDs. You could use EPO, you could use HGH, you could use one of the loads, the testosterone family, like a D'Angelo or a Trenbolone and all this hard shit. It was horse meat. It's boar meat. Dutch, this guy's insulting languages. He was going hard in the Tower of Babel with Dutch. Like, yeah, y'all will really be fucked up. I eat raw liver. I huge now. Yeah, Liver King. It's the Liver King. Yeah, it's boar meat, or it's horse meat, or it's eggs. That's what Conor Ben, another boxing guy. It's eggs. The fuck out of here is eggs. No, it's pills, motherfucker. It's pills and potions, motherfucker. All these guys. So that's the thing. It's so widespread in combat sports already. As fucked up as it sounds, I don't want guys getting killed in the ring, but that shit might as well, which is more likely to get killed? When one guy's on gear and one guy's not, or when both are on gear? Well, if they're both on gear, at least the other guy can eat some of the superhuman punches he's going to take. And again, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. There's too many motherfuckers on steroids right now. There's too many. And what kills me the most about the whole steroids thing, and I'm about to reset the mic just in case. On that. The shit that kills me the most is how many fans are in fucking denial. It bothers me so bad that so many motherfuckers are so NPC when it comes to steroid use. They just like, because everyone has a favorite fighter, just like I was talking about with boxing, same with all these combat sports, especially UFC. People have their favorite fighters, their favorite little camps. And so it's like, no, not my camp, not my fighter, no. I can't, for shame, how could someone do steroids? Like, yeah, it's a lot of, well, UFC, they're not making the most, but it's a lot of money, man. Fresh scrambled eggs with special sauce and freshly squeezed juice. Yeah, I guess so. The fuck you putting in those eggs, Connor? How the fuck Clomiphene getting them eggs, man? Apparently he would need to eat like hundreds of eggs too. Like, it's madness. It's madness. And these motherfuckers get away. And plus, like I said, there are guys who have therapeutic use exemptions for testosterone. Therapeutic use. And then here's the thing. If you give somebody therapeutic use for testosterone, how are you going to know if they use something a little harder than that or use more than the quote unquote recommended amount? What was elevated? Well, I have a therapeutic use. That's why it's elevated. The just ridiculous. They don't really care about the fighters, man. The steroids testing is a fucking it's just some shit to make the sponsors feel okay about it. That's what all it's there for. And even the sponsors don't care. But nobody wants to be backing an obvious fucking blood sport. And listen, all athletes at a world level, whether you're talking boxing, whether you're talking MMA, NFL, MLB, football, you're talking about European football leagues, all the different football leagues across the world, rugby, you know what I mean? I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. Cricket, there's some extra shit being used. Shit, you can't even go into esports without doing Adderall. There's people doing esports, Adderall. Everybody is using something else to get ahead. Nobody's natty, man. Nobody's natty. That's just the truth. That's the truth. And if you're watching sports from any naive space and you want to be in this space where, you know, only the few guys that you've ever heard of getting called, only Lance Armstrong and Barry Bonds, those are the only steroid users the past 20, 30 years. I can't stop you, but you're fucking wrong. You're wrong and you're naive, man. You're incredibly naive. Sheesh, man. So, yeah, steroid use, this is kind of, you know, this is me just talking to you guys, man. Steroid use in sports, man, they might as well just go. We've come so far. And another thing about steroid use, man, the normie is a lot more exposed to steroids than they have ever been from their own standpoint. I was talking on my last stream with the games about some of the gym bullshit. But you know what? Normies can get testosterone. Shit, most of the people on steroids on Earth do not look like it. More people look like Tyson Fury on steroids than look like Yoel Romero. Believe it or not, because the Instagram era, even girls, not girls that are trying to look like Abby from The Last of Us, but if you don't want to go on the hard, you hop on a little Anavar. If a girl wants to hop on a little, I shouldn't be telling this because I don't want a bunch of girls accidentally transitioning because they use too much. But little Anavar, you can get yourself, that little 6-pack for a girl, still have that thickness, have a little ass. Even girls are on gear, bro. At your local gym. If you're at a local gym and you work out, I guarantee you there's someone in that gym using steroids. I don't give a fuck where you are. You could be in the middle of nowhere, Montana, at the Anytime Fitness in, what the fuck is the city in Montana? I don't even know, like Bismarck or something? Or is that North Dakota? One of those cities. And there's a motherfucker there on steroids, man. Smoking a bunch of pot and going to the arcade to play Missile Command. That's the back of the day PEDs before esports. That is an advantage. I think weed is a PED for mental stuff. Obligatory shit. Zach says he's pro steroids in sports. Go all in, which again I am too. Man, that if we want to go all in, Cinch Ditto has a recipe: obligatory juice and phone booth MMA. You know what? On that note, let's play some more phone booth MMA clips, bro. I want to talk about some brutal shit. Let me see. Do I have to? I'm gonna try to not unmask to see. Let's copy and paste. Come on. Okay, hold on. We always need more phone booth MMA. You mentioned it. The people can always use more. There's never enough phone booth MMA. Let's see. Look at this shit.
Кулачная работа мощная. Молчанов Павел немножко уходит вниз. Встает нормально.
Of course they're rushing.
Опять вниз уходит.
Jesus.
Уже не встает. Нет, это все. Ух ты. Ой.
Hey, he stopped it. You know what? There's way worse stoppages than that. I'm gonna be honest, bro. There's way worse stoppages than that. If we're being real, man. Because there's a lot of times, man, there's some bloodthirsty refs. What's that one guy think he was an Asian dude for UFC. Used to let anything fucking go. There's some bloodthirsty wrestlers. Is there more of this? Or is that it? Let's see. I think that's it. That's the future, right? That might be the future. We saw the slap league. That you know what I mean? And this is another thing, boxing. I wish boxers were watching this and they realize, hey, you know what? All your technical skill, all that cool shit, all your racial views, all that's cool. But people just want to see someone get knocked out. That's the real. If we want to be 1,000% real. And so things like this, things like slap fighting, isn't there car MMA? Yeah. Let's see this. Hold on. Let's see some car MMA too. I remember we watched this. This is the shit. When we talking about the future of combat sports, car jitsu. This is the shit that's going to get popular because we want to see a fucking knockout. Get an Asian rep, bro. He didn't give a fuck. Look at this shit, though. We're going to see a KO or a submission. We're going to see a stoppage. Because they can't circle. Footwork doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? They just got to throw. Of course they're Russian. And you know what? You said steroids. There's a non-zero chance that both of those guys are already on steroids, bro.
Итак, 2 раунда. И в третьем на пенальти он вполне может и забрать победу. По правилам.
No, it's not. It's kind of not moving.
Впитывает себя как губка.
But I mean, this is still going to be shorter than every heavyweight fight, every championship, every UFC fight where they just wrestle around on the ground, every, you know, overly technical boxing match where they just, oh shit! Just slammed him to the ground. Mario Yamasaki, yeah. Bro, he wouldn't stop a fucking murder. He wouldn't stop a goddamn thing. He wouldn't stop a fucking murder. Yeah, Mario Yamasaki. Holy shit, you could come in there with a knife and start slicing the guy. He wouldn't stop him. He wouldn't stop shit. But bro, you know what? Combat sports athletes, here's some more takeaway. That shit's gonna replace you. If y'all want to keep being sensitive about, especially boxing, everyone want to be sensitive about this side of the street and who duck who and all this shit. To me, boxing is just ducktails anyway. Everybody ducks each other. Everybody ducks each other. Yeah, Yamasaki was horrible. Is he still around? Bro, they got to get rid of him. Russians do have a history encouraging juicing. They are really the ones who brought steroids into the world. Like, I couldn't tell you who invented it, but like who popularized steroids, it was the Russians. They popularized steroids, and after they start using steroids, that's when everyone started using it, and it spread into football, it spread into obviously bodybuilding, and it spread into a lot of sports, and then they started to get better with the enhancements, and that's when you start getting EPO and all these other things for like cycling and more endurance-based sports, so you didn't have to look like this super muscle man. Even though, if you just take testosterone, you don't work hard, you're gonna still look like a fat slob. I've seen it with my own too. But to any boxer out there, to any boxing promotional company, any boxing YouTuber, bro, you're gonna have to compete with the circus. You're gonna have to compete with Jake Paul and KSI. You already are. Logan Paul, you're going to have to compete with the slap leagues. You're going to have to compete with the shit because you don't deliver what we want. Straight up. Even MMA, even UFC doesn't deliver what we want all the time. We see what happened with Ngannou, and we know that their fighters aren't always getting paid. A lot of you guys in the chat make more than a lot of UFC fighters you might know, believe it or not. So long term, man, everybody wants to be greedy. Everyone wants to make their money. This show started off talking about the end of the entertainment industry. Sports is counted in that. Sports, luckily, is one of the few things that still rates pretty well in live TV. But we know everything's going to the internet, man. Even this Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia fight, say what you will about Ryan and his boxing skill, lack thereof. Him being a big Instagrammer and a big TikToker is the reason the fight made, sold 1 million. But that and Tank, it was the synergy. You need that synergy. But it was part of the reason that it sold was because of how big he is on the internet. And it was almost, this close from a Jake Paul fight, for real. In that there was this influencer against this boxer, essentially. And that was the draw. We always wanted to see what happened. And they sold 1 million buys at like 85 a piece. Because they made the fucking fight. There's so many fights in boxing they don't make. I was talking about the Benavidez, Canelo. Everyone knows about Crawford, Spence, and Usyk Fury, and Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. And people can point fingers and they can say it was because of this guy, because of race, because of this company, that all that shit. You can say all that shit. But people just want to see someone get knocked the fuck out. People just want to see a good fight. People will watch street beefs. People will watch phone booth MMA. They'll watch whatever the fuck. And you're going to lose market share. We talked about market share earlier. Normal combat sports, if they keep up the greed, if they keep up the bullshit, they're going to lose market. They're already losing market share to the circus, so to speak. To whatever else somebody comes up. The slap leagues is a prime example of something that came around the past 3, 4, 5 years. Now look how big they are, and they're only going to get bigger because they just got bought by Dana White and potentially the UFC. I'm not sure exactly how that ownership was. I still haven't looked into it. So a warning to all combat sports athletes: that bullshit is not going to. That bullshit's not going to fly. We are only going to deal with the bullshit so much because we're going to get our fix of seeing people get fucked up one way or another. That's just the truth. People want to see it. People still want to see fights. Why do you think the fucking Waffle House and McDonald's fights go viral and people scream World Star? We want to see somebody get knocked out. I don't know why. We're dark. It's this primal need to see it. And so if you don't provide us that because you want to, posture over bullshit, that's fine. We'll find it somewhere else, especially in the internet age. So on that bombshell, we've gone 2 hours. I gave you at least an hour actual show. And we got to talk about some topics a little bit off topic. So I appreciate talking to you guys. I appreciate you guys going with the growth. Thank you, Ogre Squasher. I owe you, I ain't going to say my life because we ain't that crazy. Not dealing with a Russian mobster, so to speak. But I owe you everything, man. I appreciate that this is the second channel of mine now that you're keeping alive. So thank you so much. Thank you everyone else in the chat. Zach, Cinch Dildo, Papa Cotton, Mike DiCarlo, hell, Mike, who else is here? I was Ogre Squasher, New Bomb Turk. Somebody else was here earlier. Oh my God, my brain. Who else was here? Top chat. Is it going to let me go all the way to the top? It's not. Who started off the show? There was somebody who started off. I can't think of it now. I'm sorry. Blame my head, not my heart. I appreciate everybody watching this stream live or on the playback. I'll have stuff to clip. Thank you guys. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do that. But even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night and God bless. I'll talk to you all later. Peace. Let me give one more try. Who the fuck was it earlier? Low Spec Lens Laptop. Hell, Low Spec.